Hey friends, lucky us. I'll tell you what, I am really excited to get to offer this to you today. This is an Alleva Coppolo RA5 Custom, but it's a used one. So it's a really nice opportunity to save some money on a super premium bass. So the Alleva Coppolo lineup can be a little confusing in that, like, you know, you've got all these like letters and numbers, and it can be a little hard to understand like kind of what the difference between each one. Obviously the number is telling you like the number of strings, but with the RA series, this is kind of like Jimmy's take on trying to get an instrument that's the best of both worlds. So if you think about it, you know that the 60s basses tended to be like alder bodies with rosewood fingerboards. The 70s basses were ash bodies, maple necks, and bridge pickups a little closer to the bridge, so for a little bit more bite and kind of a little more cut in the mix. And so what the RA series is essentially a blend of those two. So you have a Western Red Alder body underneath here, but you've got a maple neck and maple fingerboard, and you've got that 70s pickup position with the bridge pickup, so it's a little bit closer to the bridge. And then, of course, block inlays. This is the custom, and the customs have the Nitrocellulose lacquer finish and vintage fret wire, which tends to be a little bit smaller. And I don't know that it'll show up here, but there's just a little bit of the checking and the cracking in the nitro finish that nitro finish always does after a few years. So yeah, Alleva Coppolo pickups, plus their 2-band preamp, bent plate bridge, a vintage tint headstock, and maple neck. Now, this bass sounds great, as you heard on the recording, and if you didn't hear it, I'll play a little bit on this one. But as you guys know, I generally am now doing 2 videos, one like this one where we just go through the specs, and another video where there's really no talking and it's just the playing. But there's a couple of things I want you to be aware of before we move forward. One, this bass is not mint. So if you're one of those people that, like, when you buy used basses, you want them to basically be new condition, this bass is not mint. It's in really good shape. I'd say it's 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And I don't think any of the imperfections will likely show up on video. But like as I'm looking through here, I can see like a little tiny ding here in the finish. Nitrocellulose is just it's a great finish because it breathes and ages, and the wood can age underneath it. And it, you know, nitro instruments just sound amazing as they age and develop over time. But it's a very soft and delicate finish, and so you're just gonna see like there's a tiny little ding there. There's like tiny little pot marks here, little, you know, fingernail scratches or something there. There's more of it kind of right along through here. Like I mentioned, the cracking here, which is, you can't even feel it. It's like, it's very minor. On the back, probably the worst one is there's this little ding right there on the back. That's the worst. But there's like little microscopic stuff, and it's just because the softness of nitrocellulose. Now, this is one of those basses that from here, you're going to look at it and go, geez, that looks like in great shape. And it is. I mean, everything that's important about this instrument's in great shape. It's just the finish. The surface level of the finish is going to have, you know, a few little tiny things. Some people might say it's an 8, 8.5. I would call it a 7 cosmetically. Truss rod's fine. Everything else is fine. The action on this thing is slammed down. It is crazy low. So that's the first thing to know. The other thing that I think you should know, and I'm glad that he's not doing this anymore because this really isn't my thing, but this is one of those basses that has the twin towers on the back, and I'll throw a picture up here so you can maybe see it better. I don't know, it's pretty good. It says to question everything. I mean, everybody has their own kind of beliefs on stuff, right? You know, and I guess I don't mind the idea of questioning everything, but it's a little conspiracy theorist for me. It's not something I really want to consider generally while I'm trying to make music and play my instrument. So, but just be aware that that is on the back of it, okay? You may identify with those feelings, and this may make the bass more desirable to you, or you may be like me and be like, I don't, you know, I'd rather not have it. but I'd also like to save the money, so I'll go ahead and get it. So I just want you to make sure that you're aware of it so you're not surprised that it has it on there like I was surprised when I got it. This is a bass that I purchased from a good customer, a really good guy, but I didn't realize this was on the back of it. But it's okay. So anyway, I just want to make sure you guys are aware of it. So I've done another video where I've kind of played through a track and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, like the bass sounds great. So, but anyway, let me just run you through how this sounds, because this is a great sounding bass. Like I mentioned, it's kind of like the perfect blend between those 60s and 70s era basses. So you've got the Alder body, but then essentially the rest of the components are from a 70s era bass. So if we put pickups full on and then cut the tone about halfway, and we'll just cut the bass and treble so that there's, or not cut, but no boost on the bass or treble, you get a great sound. I mentioned the action is super, super low. I probably play a little too heavy for this action. I'm going to leave it for the next person who gets it, because they may, if you play the light touch, you'll love this action. I just play a little too heavy for it. So that's my hybrid style. Some people also love that little clicky sound where you get it onto the frets. So it's, if you like that sound, that sounds good too. If you don't like that sound, just raise the action a little bit. And then if we, I'll do the same sound, but I'll boost the mids and, or excuse me. I'll do the same sound, but I'll boost the lows and add just a little bit of treble and up the tone just a little bit. Yeah, just a great sound for that. And then here's just the bridge pickup only with a little bit of neck. And then here's cutting the tone knob almost all the way down. Just a really, really great sounding bass. So yeah, friends, if you want this for yourself, head on over to FretSpot.com. If you see it on the site, it's available. If you don't see it, that means someone else has already snapped it up. Just a reminder, if you've watched all my videos, you can skip this part. But just a reminder, if you buy direct from FretSpot, you don't pay sales tax as long as you don't live in Missouri or Kansas. You get free shipping, plus you can get up to 6 months of financing through a firm. This is a used instrument, so I don't generally take trades on used stuff. If you've got something and you're really eager for it, let me know, but it won't follow my normal trade-in value. It'll be lower than that if you want to trade on a used instrument. So, and then the best way to be notified of when I get new stuff in stock is to follow me on Facebook. So find FretSpot on Facebook, follow it, make it one of your favorites, and you'll get notified through your Facebook feed every time I post something new. Okay, so yeah, my friends, the RA5 from Alleva Coppolo, I used one, just a great sounding instrument. Here's a great opportunity to get one now and to save a pile of cash. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.